Hello, friends. It's Saturday. I kind of missed my regular stream last week. Just a lot of things were going on and I didn't get around to it. Just a little too busy. But I'm back on the weekend. Just got back from a workshop on fungi in food forests. It was pretty interesting. Learned some fascinating facts about our fungal friends. So, just regular situation here. Although I had an idea actually. Let's see how many residents. 49 people. Let's see, what was that last one? 47, I think it was. I noticed in my YouTube videos that my streams that I finished most recently, one had almost 200 views, and it was one where I thought it was a pretty lame stream. I just went to this club sim that had a whole bunch of people dancing on a dance floor, and apparently that video was really popular. I have no idea why. But I thought, maybe I should do something like that again now that I'm using Firestorm, where I may actually get a decent frame rate. So I thought today I would pick a sim at random, but pick one with a whole bunch of residents. So, got no idea what this is. Mediterranean OC, apparently they have a website. So, I'm going to see if I can go here to this sim. I'm going to ignore that. And one thing I did want to do, and this is like highly irregular, but before I get started here, I wanted to paste a channel URL of another YouTuber into the chat, and this is going to be kind of mildly amusing. So I discovered this person a few days ago when I was just checking out. Like, occasionally I go to the YouTube search and I just do a generic search for Second Life videos, just because, you know, there are other YouTubers who are obsessed with Second Life who are doing some cool stuff. And I found a guy called Panda Foo, and I'm going to paste that URL into the chat right now for his channel, where he basically does something very similar to what I do, only like on the mainland. He's been doing this series of road tours where he's like following various roads on the mainland and doing little like teardowns and observations and stuff, kind of like I do. So I just thought it would be cool, since people apparently like these videos that I make. If you want to check out another YouTuber, I feel kind of sorry for him because he's been doing this for a little while now, and he only gets like a handful of views on each video, like 1, 3, 7, 10, 9. He's not getting a lot of views, so I don't know. You guys could check out his stuff. Maybe he'll get a few more views. So yeah, I just thought I'd do that. Completely unsolicited. I have not like talked to him or anything. Just seen a couple of his videos. Looks like we got some kind of a church here. The frame rate's not quite as good as I'm used to, but it's not super horrible yet either. This looks like a Catholic church, I guess. I'm not super familiar with all the different types of Christianity, like how to differentiate them. Although that I've seen that cross before, and that's like a specific type of cross. But who knows? You know, when people make stuff in Second Life, they don't always. Sometimes they just use pre-existing. I thought I'd give a sermon while I'm here. We are gathered here today. The Church of Neotoy Story. So, like, here's some votives, I guess. So that would imply Catholicism. I don't know. This looks like a nun or something. It's a lot of makeup and piercings for a lady of the cloth, but what do I know? Don't want to get caught up in unnecessary conversation here. Oh wow, that's a pretty cool organ. I'm guessing this is probably an original creation and not a prefab. It looks fairly like cobbled together. Wow, there's actually like an organ playing animation. Maybe there'd even be organ music if I turned on the sounds, but I don't want to do that, of course, because of the copyright issue that I've mentioned previously. Let's see if they turned off flying. Not sure if... Yeah, it looks like they turned off flying. That's a drag. That's my own stupid fault for standing up. I'm locked inside a little fenced area. Oh good, those grates moved back. Alright, kind of feel like I saw the whole inside of this church, so I'm gonna head outside if it'll let me. Yeah, so I wonder what the big draw is for this sim, because it's not like a casino sim or anything. But let's check the mini-map. Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna get a general idea of where the concentration is of all these avatars. Looks like if I head north approximately, run into them eventually. Yeah, there's definitely some lag. Like, I don't know, I'm probably getting like maybe 20, 30 frames a second, it looks like. So, I mean, the only reason I can think that I would be getting such a bad frame rate is because of all the avatars. Oh, that's funny. I was literally just at the gallery of the person who makes these pieces of artwork like a couple weeks ago. Pretty spectacular stuff. I don't remember the site because I never bookmark anything. I should have. Yeah, this stuff's pretty like, I don't know, thought provocative, but in a very abstract way. And there's a lot of structures on this sim. So, yeah, here's a bunch of avatars, and like, we checked the map, what was it, 48 or something like that? Pretty high avatar count. So once again, I want to point out, like, even though I go to a lot of sims that are more or less abandoned in Second Life, they're not abandoned. I mean, that's like a mischaracterization. The truth is, the way traffic works in Second Life, it's really deceptive, you know, because it's the ability to manifest on a sim is so mercurial. Like, you can just like teleport in, walk around, and teleport out, and so people are doing this all times of day and night, and if more than one person is teleporting in at the same time, they may not even run into each other because the area of a sim, you know, can be pretty large. So it gives this illusion of emptiness. I mean, Second Life has always kind of had this stigma of being like a ghost town, But that's not really true. If you check the land traffic count of a sim, you'll find that there's actually like thousands or sometimes tens of thousands of people visiting a sim every single day. But the thing is, you just don't see large groups of people very often unless the sim creator is deliberately creating some kind of an environment. And I really wish these would res. That sort of facilitates a gathering of avatars. And of course, you have to think about time zones too, because Second Life is like a truly uh, global world. I don't know if that's not the right term. Basically, like, someone from Europe where it's noon can be logging into a sim, and then someone who is in America where it's like 3 in the morning or whatever, I'm not sure the exact time zones, but they could be logging into the same sim but at different times, so like I might visit here at 4:39 p.m., but I'm not going to see anybody from Slovenia or whatever, because for them they're like asleep in their beds, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to come by at some point. So that's sort of how like the segmentation of the traffic works. If Second Life had really taken off like Linden Labs kind of wanted it to, or like it even sort of a little bit did during like 2006 to 2008, and it was more like Facebook with like billions of users, and basically like there was always going to be like 10,000 or 100,000 people visiting each sim every day, then you probably would see a lot more concurrency. You'd be every single sim that you visited would be populated with a whole bunch of avatars. But that's not something that you can create artificially. That's something that can only happen organically, unfortunately. Wow, look at the clarity of the texture on this ruler. That is like really impressive. I don't know. It looks like a normal map too that's giving it that I don't know. Anyway, that's just really like a stunning level of fidelity there from my point of view for textures. You only see the pixels when you zoom like way in. It's kind of cool. So it's like a shop basically selling these desks, which are kind of a mixture of quality levels. So yeah, it's really tragic that Second Life, I'd say I've always felt like really strongly that the main obstacle to Second Life becoming as popular as Facebook, well, there's really like two dimensions to it. The first is the user friendliness and the learning curve. That's the primary obstacle, because it's really hard to get into. It's not like, Facebook's pretty much just two-dimensional. Like you log in, you see a bunch of flat content, like flat titles, flat names, flat everything. In Second Life, because it's fully 3D and it's like a virtual world, you basically have an entire additional dimension of complexity that's tacked onto everything, so that you have to learn basically an exponential level of additional complexity in order to fully utilize the system. So that's the main obstacle, right? And then the second obstacle is probably that it's so vast. I mean, that's really like it's sort of a victim of its own success, in the sense that the scale of Second Life is epic. Like, it's really just so large. I'm going off road here, wading through the water. Forgot my waders. It's just so vast that there is definitely sort of that ghost town feel to it, which isn't necessarily a bad thing in a broader sense, but in the sense that it's a virtual world and a quasi social network, that's kind of devastating, because when people log in, they expect their like social needs and their mirror neurons to all be gratified and so forth. So when they just log in and they find that there's like no affirmation for their social sort of animal side, and they're just kind of like wandering in a wasteland all by themselves, they can't handle that, and they're just like, well, I'm out, you know. So I'd say that's a pretty significant problem that Second Life has had. A lot of times, I mean, I see like a lot of users still congregate around like the initial welcome areas, like where noobs would get dumped years ago, and Linden Labs, of course, made new welcome areas where they also people get dumped, and those become like their sort of like temporary homes, because that's where all the people are at. That's all most people really care about. That's why Facebook is so popular and so universal and ubiquitous, is because it allows people to connect with other people. And in Second Life, that is an elective process. In other words, you're the one responsible for connecting with other people. It's like real life. And Facebook kind of like nudges, or almost, I would say, forces you to connect with other people. It's a very like what's the right word? It's heavy-handed. It relies on like psychological manipulation and intimidation tactics to basically force socialization, which honestly a lot of people are not adverse to that. In fact, they love it. They love being abused and forced to socialize with other people. They just need that like initial push. But for people who are a little more like boundary sensitive and like to like forge their own destiny, then that sort of strong arming tactic is not really appreciated. This is pretty cool. I've commented multiple times on how I love virtual artwork, or in this case, well, yeah, that looks like some CGI in the background, or at least it's like Photoshop or something. Virtual art galleries in Second Life are just freaking awesome. And this is like some of the highest quality. Like, look at these easels. You got like wing nuts on here and everything. And I just love how much control Firestorm gives me. Like when I'm observing, I feel like for the first time that since I've been doing these videos, I have like the level of control that I feel like is necessary for doing this and like documenting. Like, this is the amount of control that you're supposed to have in a virtual world. This like digital camera with a telephoto lens, pretty blocky. Custom paintings, huh? But once again, we have a lot of like skeuomorphism going here. Oh, I really like these chairs. These are cool. It's like a rainbow lucite. Great job on the transparency and the fabrication. Let's see who made these. Look at that. It's so optimized too for the poly count. The loft and area. Yeah, I don't know. It's on one hand, like, I feel like it's a fairly cynical analysis of like Facebook and social media in general, but you have to admit, given like all the news and stuff that's come out about all the underhanded stuff like election manipulation, working with intelligence agencies to build dossiers on like citizens, the rise of racism and like the facilitation of like far right groups via social media. Uh-oh. How did I get in here? I feel like I thought I came in through the doorway, but did I just like totally miss the doorway? Is this the doorway? Oh, I came in through here, the under construction sign, of course. But yeah, social media like really is a serious threat, I would say, to a lot of things that allow society to function in a healthy way. And it only seems to be getting worse, like more invasive of privacy, more exploitative of humans and their innate characteristics in order to essentially extract money, you know, to turn the user into a product. Wow, these are some really nice pseudo-expressionist kind of paintings. Maybe this is like a Catholic-owned sim or something. I've seen a lot of like religious imagery. Huh. That's weird. I've seen this exact picture. Somebody took the picture and then they turned it into like a painting. I like that one. Yeah, so like, I mean, on one hand, I'm being a little cynical about social media, but on the other hand, I feel like that cynicism is more than justified. It's a depressive realism point of view of social media. So much of famous paintings. I hope those aren't for sale. Some Van Goghs and stuff. Don't know why you would mix real world famous paintings with like your own artwork. I mean, it's not like music where you do like a cover, you know. If it's like a literal rip-off of a famous painting, it's not really the same kind of level of borrowing the or leapfrogging on the popularity of the sort of parent subject matter. Yeah, anyway, I got off on that tangent because I was talking about Second Life as a social network. And I don't know, I think Second Life is in a lot of ways a social network. How the hell did I get over here? I can't like I don't know, like swim underneath the castle walls. Maybe I can climb up the ramparts here. Actually, I think I'm just gonna walk down the coast and maybe we end up at this other like it looks almost like a mosque, but it has a Christian cross on the top, so who knows. Also, let me do like a land scan. I think I can do that here. Okay, here we go. Mediterranean OC, art show, dance, multi-scene, dance room. So there you go. There's probably the reason there's so many avatars. There must be a dance room. Like, I just don't get it. Like, dance floors. It's such a weird phenomenon in Second Life where you basically like you go and you stand on a floor and you click on like a sphere that makes your or something that makes your avatar dance, and you're just like sitting there and your avatar's dancing, and that's like for some reason that's like a big social draw for people, which is kind of mysterious to me. So Turkish, not really, no. Well, it almost looks like Iranian, sort of. Here's like a tabernacle. Maybe this is just like a major religious sort of thing. Kind of one of those multi-religion unification type sims where they're trying to like bring all of the different religions together to both appeal to the broadest audience and to sort of like create a level of harmony. I don't know. You know, the like woo-woo new age hippie stuff, like coexist with all the religious symbols together. Lost my stream connection there for a second. It's Greek. It's Greek to me. The joke is so played out. Okay, so here we have an Orthodox Christian church. Yeah, it's almost like this sim is like a museum of churches, which is kind of like fascinating. God, I'm still stuck. Alright, gonna try the map method here. Actually, I kind of want to just teleport into the nucleus of the activity here, if I can. I may actually have to relog. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here, but it's seriously cramping my style. Alright, I'm gonna try to relog here. Actually, first, before I do that, let me see if I can teleport out of the sim. Okay. So I got a disconnect there of some sort. It just happens sometimes. It's always happened for as long as I've used Second Life. Occasionally the server just dies, or your connection to the server dies, your viewer dies. I mean, there's a million different points of failure, really. Alright. Okay. Let me see. This time I'm going to make like a concerted effort to try to reach the center of the hive of activity here. Although, before I do that, actually, I would like to go over here and take a look at this like aquatic little greenhouse thing. Okay, let's see, what is this? I've seen this prefab before. So classic. There's another one of those mining lanterns. I said I was gonna rate these. I don't remember how I rated the other one, but this is like, look at this intersection of the, they're gonna lose points for this. The intersection of the top hanging loop with the pivoting redundant hanging loop. You really only need one of those loops. For some reason they put two in this lantern. Texturing, pretty low pref. Geometry optimized, but lower than it needs to be for sure. I'm gonna give this one like a C minus. I'm gonna try to remember when I rate any more of these in the future to give them like a consistent rating scale, because I feel like the other one was like 60 out of 100 or something. I can't remember. Don't know what's going on over here. It looks like a whole bunch of different little hangout pads. These are nice palm trees. Oh, there's a monkey climbing up there too. That's cool. Ugh. It's really hard to, even when you have almost total control of the camera, it's hard to use sometimes, just because of the way the geometry interacts. Which, once again, that gets back to sort of what I was saying, the, like, utmost reason that Second Life is never going to be mainstream in the way that Linden Labs wanted it to be is just because it's so much harder to use than every other social media platform. at least that I know of. I mean, I know there's like VR chat, which some people are like getting into nowadays, which I have not used personally, but I guess that's like a more like simplified version of Second Life, kind of, that puts more of the focus on the social interaction dynamic, which obviously, if you want to make money, that's clearly the way to go. Alright, I'm like right in the thick of things now. So this is where all the avatars are hanging out. Like, where's the dance floor? Here we go. This has got to be like, that's a cool skeleton avatar. Stone skeleton. It's like a Joker. There is a totally naked woman. Perfect, perfectly appropriate for the dance floor in Second Life. This is like a mixture of stripper poles. Man, these robot dancers are really popular. I've seen these like multiple times now. I love how they're both like pseudo pornographic and at the same time completely non-erotic, in the sense that they're like these almost grotesque amalgams of mechanical parts. It's a really it's a nice mind fuck, honestly. That's a cool like rainbow thing. So this Michael Jackson. Yeah. Is that from Thriller? I don't know. Maybe it says. D&D Michael Jackson. Whatever that means. There's like a Elvis impersonator. You know, like Elvis is still pretty popular in like really weird parts of the world. Germany. I just like write off a whole country. Germany is really weird. It's like, yeah. This is not an avatar. It's like a animated mesh object thing in the middle of the dance floor. Like how their tip jar is like a naked woman. It's like it's really attention getting. Probably brings in the dollars. I have to say I'm a little impressed that mainly like the area of the sim that seems to have the most avatars is just kind of this huge area. There's actually like people all over just hanging out. There's not like a one area that's super concentrated. I really want to go over and check out that Eiffel Tower. See these paintings here? Like, this is a scam, right? So see how it says resident earning 1 linden per 45 minutes. So when you sit at these paintings, I think this is illegal. Technically, this is illegal according to like the terms of service, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So basically, this is a scam where the owner of the sim lures people and tricks these poor hapless souls into wasting their time by sitting down on one of these scripted painting stools, and the mistaken impression that they're going to get money by doing this, even though the chance that he's ever going to get a payout is like nearly non-existent. And also, look at this, 45 minutes to earn 1 linden. That is like so ludicrous. Like if 250 lindens is $1, you know, he'd have to be there for a month to even earn a significant amount of money. But you don't need many lindens in Second Life to actually buy things off the marketplace. But what I was getting around to saying is that this works because it lures newbies into the sim, and that increases the sim's traffic. So when you're looking on the map and you see all those green dots, which a lot of newbies, that's the only place they're going to go, is where they see all those green dots, because they're like, oh, look at all those people there, I can talk to all these people, you know, which is like what their main draw is for Second Life. So they go to the sim and then they say, oh, look at that, I can make money, and they sit down on one of those painting things, and then that draws more and more people to the sim, all for like this false sense of that you're going to be earning some money. And that makes the sim more popular and rise in the rankings, and it's just sort of like this vicious cycle of, yeah, you get the idea. Anyway, it's basically a scam. And I remember when I first started using Second Life, like the first week, I did a couple of those things. They were a lot more diverse back in the day, though. Like there were ones where you'd be like mopping a floor, or like oh, that's really annoying. I want to block that notice that keeps showing up. Mopping the floor, or like begging on the street. Like there were just so many different kiosks like that. Jeez, am I ever even gonna be able to find that Eiffel Tower? Here we go. The fact that flying is turned off is really annoying on this sim, because the landscaping is kind of awful. But I'm really impressed at like how many people there are just like randomly all over the place. Nude beach yoga. Sign me up. And the fact that there's so many like art show type exhibits is really appealing to me too. There's kind of like a pseudo Louvre over there. God, I'm just getting farther away from the Eiffel Tower. Like I'm trying to get there, but I'm just going in the opposite direction. This is a sim where you're like very easily distracted by all the exciting things that are happening. Oh, this is pretty cool. I'm totally like as incoherent as usual today. What am I even doing? I'm like just like walking around in circles. Come on, neotoy. Get it together, man. So I can always blame my avatar if things are going wrong, because it's not really me. It's neotoy's story. He's the jackass. I'm just controlling the guy. He's the one who goes rogue. Like, what is he doing? He's just like walking down this gangplank. He's probably gonna fall into that water and then be like walking underwater. Oh my god, look at this guy. What is his deal? Wow, I really like how the atmosphere completely changed. You know, even though that notice was like harassing me for like 30 minutes to let it take over my wind light settings, and then I just walked across that sim boundary and it like changed all of my wind light settings without my permission. Like that's not a security hole or anything. I'm just about to click that allow button. Like I'm getting so annoyed. This is kind of cool. Like this architectural style. But I'm never gonna get over that Eiffel Tower. Alright, this is it. I'm really gonna make an effort. I'm gonna like make a beeline. Nothing's gonna distract me. Like I'm always a kid in a virtual candy shop here in Second Life, because there's always so many exciting things to look at, but sometimes I can focus. It's rare, but it does happen. So it looks like there's just a whole bunch of paintings, which is cool, but I mean, once again, these are just like I mean, like, this is a Salvador Dali, correct? Pretty sure. Like, what the hell? These are just, like, mainstream paintings? Although, I don't know. Some of these look like they might have been modified. Some of them could be original. I really can't tell. Like, I took an art appreciation class, so I have a little bit of knowledge about paintings, but and famous artists, but I'm not recognizing every one of these. So yeah, like that one definitely, that's like a Monet. Oh, it even says right on the top. So like, what if I click on this? What happens? Nothing. I thought it might like give me a painting or something, but let's see, are there instructions? Doesn't really give me any instructions or anything, so I don't know. See, I don't get this. Like, this is why I don't understand so many Sims. Like, and this is what one of the main reasons Second Life is never going to be what it should be. Because of stuff like this. Like, there's just these paintings. This is 48 paintings taken. How do you take a painting? Like, do I have to be part of a group? Do I have to, like, know the secret handshake or something to get a painting? Like, it's all up to the sim architect, the mastermind behind all this. This Eiffel Tower is pretty cool, though. I've never been in the real thing, so there's like teleporters for each floor, and each floor is a gallery, which is kind of cool. I'm gonna go over and see this expo next. Looks very similar to like that pyramidal glass structure that is part of the Louvre, which I'm sure was sort of the intent. These all look like straight up screenshots from Second Life. Waiting for the image to res. Just want to see exactly how high definition these are, but this could be like the max definition, I don't know. Oh, that one res nicely. Oh, there's a staircase going up there. Let's see if I can actually go up the stairs. This is kind of surreal. I like how... I mean, you could build a glass spiral staircase like that in real life, but it wouldn't look like this, that's for sure. Well, that's kind of disappointing, though. Like, you get up to the top and there's just another, like, 2 paintings. Let's see, and there's still more, another level. But I can't actually get back into the staircase because it's so, like, hard to tell what I'm looking at because of the translucency. Oh, come on. Forget this. Yeah. Just sort of highlighting the problem with giving users complete control of environment creation. Alright, trying to decide if I want to just get off of this sim or... Oh, I'm in a totally different sim. That explains a lot. Wait, I'm going to teleport back over here really quick. And then just do like a quick eye in the sky scan and see if I missed anything. You got a deal today. 2 sims for the price of 1. Look at this ridiculous lighthouse. This is like, oh my god. You imagine like a structural like an architect making a lighthouse like this. It's actually kind of charming in its sort of total lack of physical regularity. Alright. Expo, I think I checked that out already. Yes, I did. And honestly, the avatars are almost, I'm like on the same page for once as the socialites here. The avatars are almost more interesting than everything else going on in the sim. I went in there. Holodeck rentals, Skydex. Oh, Skybox. Didn't see this in here. A little photo studio. It's a pretty nice camera, wide format. I kind of like how the surrounding area to this hole is like one of those like Spanish fort kind of like gun mount emplacements with like the castle like elements. Alright, so there's the dance floor there. That's cool, like a hot air balloon made out of stained glass. That's kind of neat. There's all the churches over there. The main church. Overall, like, it's a pretty coherent sim. Like, clearly whoever designed this put some thought into the layout. And it's not bad. It's only sort of dragged down a bit by the quality of all the assets, which are pretty low on the low end for the most part, which is kind of sad because I feel like anybody who designed a sim this well, it's kind of tragic that they were working with sort of a lower end pool of assets. Here we go. Let's have some fun. Let's do this. Come on, one of these. Okay, I gotta sit on it to dance, or not. I have like no idea what I'm doing in here. This is probably one of the main reasons I'm so bad at like the mainstream Second Life stuff, and why I'm so critical of it, because like I just have no idea what to do. Like I know these are dance balls, at least I think they are. And like normally you click on these. Oh, here we go. Okay, so you click on the sphere, then it manifests these dance balls down here, and then you sit on these, and then it animates your character to dance after you click a little button. So it's like 3 steps, and like nobody tells you this shit. You have to figure it out, or you have to talk to somebody in Second Life who knows how to do this stuff. And yet this is like a super popular aspect of Second Life. It's like mystifying. I'm really like just wondering how like people figure this stuff out. So yeah, anyway, on that brilliantly insightful and erudite note, I think I'm going to close out the stream today. Thanks for watching, everyone. As usual, it's always a blast, and I don't know, I had a lot of fun exploring this sim. A lot of cool stuff to see. Let me paste the SL URL into the chat, even though the chat is malfunctioning over on my YouTube window, but maybe it'll post. Yeah, stay safe out there, friends. And I'll see you next time.